While standing in the middle of a supermarket checkout aisle, my daughter sent a cold text message saying goodbye and told me that every single item I owned was sitting in an alley dumpster. Seconds later, her arrogant husband followed up with a photograph showing my tailored winter coats, cherished family photo albums, and personal keepsakes thrown into a filthy outdoor garbage bin, warning me that if I ever stepped foot on their property again, he would have me arrested for criminal trespassing. They truly believed they had stripped away my dignity and left an old woman destitute in the cold. But instead of crying, panicking, or pleading for mercy, I stood calmly beside my shopping cart, smiled to myself, and pressed send on a 38-second video file that would dismantle their lives, expose their hidden debts, and permanently destroy their arrogance forever. My name is Vivian Caldwell. At 66 years old, all I ever desired after losing my beloved husband 3 years ago was a peaceful life surrounded by the family I spent decades protecting and supporting. When my daughter Vanessa and her ambitious husband Gregory invited me to move into their gated suburban estate, I believed their intentions were born from genuine love and filial duty. Wanting to ease their financial load, I quietly covered their massive grocery bills, paid for their luxury vehicle insurance, and secretly supplemented their monthly mortgage without asking for a single dime or word of gratitude in return. However, as the months passed, their subtle disrespect evolved into open hostility. Gregory was an executive at a boutique private wealth firm, obsessively determined to project an image of extreme wealth to his elite social circle, despite privately drowning in high-interest debt. Vanessa slowly adopted his shallow arrogance, treating my simple habits, vintage clothing, and quiet presence as an embarrassing blemish on their high society lifestyle. What neither Vanessa nor Gregory understood was that I was never a helpless dependent living on their charity. Before retiring, I had spent 35 years building a highly successful commercial real estate development enterprise that generated substantial generational wealth. Months before moving into their guest suite, I had quietly consolidated my entire estate into an independent family trust. I chose to live modestly because I wanted to see how my daughter and her husband would treat me when they believed I possessed nothing of material value. The painful reality became obvious 3 weeks ago when I overheard Gregory boasting to Vanessa that they could finally discard me, liquidate my vintage automobile, and convert the empty guest wing into an executive lounge to entertain his wealthy business associates. Rather than confronting them with futile anger, I hired a forensic investigator to audit Gregory's financial affairs, and the resulting evidence uncovered a horrific web of fraud, forged collateral documents, and severe corporate embezzlement. The breaking point arrived on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, when Vanessa asked me to drive across town to pick up organic groceries and specialty pastries for Gregory's upcoming corporate dinner. Just 15 minutes after I walked out the front door, my phone buzzed with Vanessa's ruthless message announcing that my time in their home was permanently over. Gregory's photo arrived right after, showing my dresses, medical records, and irreplaceable heirloom jewelry box tossed carelessly into a curbside dumpster. They thought they were throwing out a defenseless widow with nowhere left to turn. What Gregory had foolishly forgotten was that the luxury manor they claimed to own was never theirs. 2 years earlier, when Gregory faced bankruptcy, my holding trust purchased the entire property outright, allowing them to reside there under a strict conditional occupancy agreement, while Gregory falsely presented the estate to his firm's managing board as proof of his personal wealth. Without shedding a single tear, I opened my phone messaging application and selected the 38-second video dossier compiled by my legal team. The footage contained high-resolution recorded evidence of Gregory meeting with unlicensed loan sharks, paired with certified county deed records, proving that my holding trust held 100% legal ownership of the estate. I sent the video directly to Gregory, Vanessa, and every senior partner on his firm's executive board who was currently reviewing him for a multi-million-dollar equity partnership. Within 3 minutes, my phone rang uncontrollably with panicked calls. When I answered, Gregory's voice was shaking with pure terror as he realized his corporate career, social standing, and freedom were evaporating in real time. Vanessa was weeping hysterically in the background, screaming that she was already pulling my belongings out of the dumpster with her bare hands and begging me not to ruin them. I spoke with absolute calm, telling them that respect cannot be salvaged once you toss family into the gutter like disposable trash. By the following morning, the managing partners at Gregory's firm terminated his employment and initiated criminal fraud proceedings, while my corporate legal team served both of them with an immediate 72-hour eviction notice, backed by local law enforcement. I watched from the comfort of a private limousine as movers cleared out their belongings, leaving them to face the overwhelming ruin born from their own greed and deceit. I relocated to my private oceanfront penthouse, finding peace in the knowledge that true, lasting personal honor is never defined by extravagant facades, but by integrity, self-respect, and the wisdom to walk away from those who fail to value your humanity.